Hello, hello. It's a sunny day on the trail, shaded by the trees right now. It's a beautiful day. I'm on the Muscadine trail at Ann Springs Greenway. So it's always fun to come over here and get a hike in. So we're at the end of another week. So it's an evening. I'm out here and enjoying the time out, other than the air traffic and road noise nearby. Enjoying the peacefulness after a long busy week. So this week I was definitely feeling the stress of being a parent, the frustrations and challenges. So getting out for a little break has been good. So I know everybody has their own challenges, and my son's no different, so we're working through it all. But the thing that I was realizing this week as I was dealing with things was how much it affects me personally, and how much I consider what's happening with him and put it into my identity, or my opinion of myself. So that's been something I've been really working through this week, because he's gonna make mistakes and he's gonna need to learn the hard way sometimes. So he's doing that, and I've been learning to tell myself it's not a reflection of me. Trying to tell myself I'm not a bad mom or doing the wrong things, and how I'm raising him, he's learning. So it's another one of those things to overcome mentally, but can be so challenging. So one of the things that I realized in relation to being hard on myself was that then I am not really in the place, mentally for sure, to support him, to support Caden. And so then it gives me a reason to actually be hard on myself. So if I'm having the right perspective about it from the beginning, then through his harder moments, I'll be able to support him the way he does need to be supported, and stay focused on what he needs and not turn it to the negative thoughts about myself, because they're untrue. So it's been something to recognize, and gives me a little more motivation to be intentional about that, because I'll do anything for my son. So some of these self-care things and mental exercise that I've been doing, I don't know how much I would do them if it was just me, but knowing that I have family that counts on me then makes it easier to try to put myself first. And so here, not cutting on myself, breaking myself down when I have no control over the normal learning process that is adolescence. So I was a little encouraged earlier today, because while today was not meant to be a full school day, it had been planned for us to have some of the day to have some fun together. Because of choices earlier in the week, it was a full school day, and that included studying for and taking 2 of his dual enrollment class exams. So we put in the work, and I gave him the support. He put in the work, I put in the support for him to study. And one of them, he submitted his exam, and that was that. But he felt good about it. The other one was encouraging because it gave immediate feedback. And so he's still learning how to really study content for exams like that. And so that was his part of his learning this week. But his learning paid off because he did end up with an A on the exam. So he was able to celebrate that and see some of that reward and payoff for the things that he's working through. So it was also encouraging to me to be able to celebrate something for him, to have some of those good moments that really, those are what make up the life you want to live, celebrating all those small things together. So we used to have so many of those things, got so excited. Well, 13, not as excitable about as many things. So there's not as much celebrating, but even when I get excited, he can think, oh, Mom, and that's okay, this face. But it was a good reminder to keep looking forward, because there will be progress, as there was with his exam today, and to not be discouraged and stay focused on the negative, which we could have easily done. But pushing on, it was good. Trails are quite wet today after all the rain this week. It was such a joy to see the sunshine coming out. But this is a cool trail because it kind of takes you back into the Greenway, and frankly there aren't as many people that come further back. They stay closer to the entrances, but has overpasses and trains and bridges, and at this point we're going along the water, so that's pretty fun. Very muddy water today, and it is moving. Wow. So next week is the Great Backyard Bird Count. I know there's a few different sites, including Merlin. We use that app to record sightings, and they are trying to get a general idea of the bird population in different areas. So you cite where you are and everything that you see. And so Kate and I participate in that every year. It's lots of fun to just go out. Sometimes we'll use the app to listen to identify some of the birds by sound that we can't identify. And then sometimes we'll use a bird guide to identify the birds we're seeing if we're not quite sure. But it's always been a good time for us to spend time outside together watching the birds. Always a fun thing to do. But today has been such a fun bird sighting day. Taking Lulu out for a walk this morning, there was a hawk sitting on the fence post right across the street, and he just hung out. Totally great viewing, and it's really neat to see him when they stay still, because so often you see them flying as soon as they see you. And then as we were walking on this trail, we saw a great blue heron fly from one side out across and continued on. So 2 pretty good bird sightings today. So it was really fun thinking about birds. The other day I was subbing with special needs 4-year-olds, And one of the things I used to do with my son was go and I'd hold him when he was younger, and we would just watch the birds outside. And it was a very calming thing. Definitely on a moving bridge right now. Very calming thing for him. So one of the kids wasn't able to handle being in the classroom anymore, and other times I've been with them, I've taken this child out for walks around the hallway and sing different songs. And I was excited that this week when I was there, he was actually singing some of the songs all by himself. He doesn't say a whole lot, but he was singing 1, 2, buckle my shoe, and he went all the way up. So it was a lot of fun, but it was raining pretty good the other day. And as we were walking the halls, got to the end of a hallway and saw outside, there was a whole slew of birds, bunch of robins out in the grass. So of course the worms were trying to not drown, and the robins were taking advantage of that opportunity for breakfast, lunch, and dinner that day. So we stood there and watched for a while, and then went back on our walk. We went back to the birds 3 times, and the third time he didn't want to leave. He just wanted to be held, and he laid his head down and he would have gone right to sleep. Those kids really can't make it through a whole day of school without a nap. Poor babies, but they're very sweet, and he was so sweet. And I appreciated that time of being able to comfort him and support him when he was struggling. So he's one of my buddies when I go back to that classroom. But birds are such a fun thing. They're amazing to watch in all varieties. Love to hear them out here. It's pretty well carved out through here. This flows down into the bigger stream of water. I always love seeing the tree roots when the ground has been eroded away. It's just so cool to see all the inner workings of the tree and how it holds on and sucks up all the water and nutrients for itself. So with all the storms, we had seen a lot of trees come down, and it's usually the base of the tree has very little root system connected to it at that point. And every time I think about, well, it didn't have enough support. It didn't have that base that it needed, and so it tumbled under the weight of the wind, or the strength of the wind, or rain, and all of that. I couldn't handle all the saturation around it, and it gave way. And I think in a lot of ways this applies to kids as well, because they need us to feed into them, because without that they'll be very much like those trees with weak roots that topple under the pressure or crumble during challenges. So in order to help these kids grow strong and healthy, we really have to invest in them. So as a mom, reminding myself that's why I do what I do. I love my son so much and want him to have those strong roots. But also as I'm in these schools with kids, that's what all these teachers are there for every day, because they want to invest in those kids and help them build strong foundations and root systems that they have to supply them with everything they need and grow into all the amazing things that they will be. really cool to think about. So anyway, I hope you have a wonderful evening or a beautiful morning and rest of your day, depending on what time it is right now for you. I will see you next time on the trail with Heart.